My name is Jeff Elkin. I'm from Orlando, Florida. I study law in Washington, D.C. at the American University Washington College of Law. And on July 20th, I came to China to study Chun.
Jeff Welkin used to be a drummer and a weightlifter. Because of his work, he ventured to Shanghai over a year ago. One day, by chance, when he was watching a movie, he witnessed a type of kung fu known as Wing Chun. Since that time, Jeff has become obsessed with Wing Chun. With the help of his friends, he traveled to Fuzhou in the hope that he would have a chance to learn Wing Chun. Jeff found that Fuzhou is steeped in Kung Fu culture. After arriving in Fuzhou, his friend accompanied him to watch a Kung Fu competition. They told him that the eldest son of Grandmaster Ye Man, Ye Chun, would also be attending. Jeff was very excited by this and was eager to study with Master Ye, who eventually agreed to take him on as his disciple.
He is obviously revered by all of Fuzhou. He just seems like a wise, nice guy. If he teaches whatever they were doing on stage, I can't wait to meet him.
Master Ye will accept Jeff as his student. Having been in China for a long time, Jeff knows very well how important this is. He grabs a haircut to clean up his appearance.
Okay. 你们不经常剪这个颜色的头发？有啊。中文说得很好。不是，是我说一点点。非常好了。
Although Jeff already knows that there will be a ceremony, he is still nervous about exhibiting proper Chinese etiquette. In order to give Jeff a richer experience, Master Ye has invited his disciples from Hong Kong to attend the ceremony.
They will pass you on the key.
师傅，请喝茶。师傅，恭喜一齊生，一齊生。俾一份，來一份，這個哈，謝謝你，謝謝你。I'm Zhong welcome you join our big family. 啊，謝謝你，恭喜恭喜 ，welcome welcome， 謝謝你 ，welcome， 謝謝 Wing Chun， 謝謝你。啊，學功夫個目的唔係用嚟欺負其他嘅人，而係愛嚟保護自己同埋強身健體。Do you understand? I understand. Okay.
Master Ye has many disciples at home and abroad. Every time he takes a new disciple, he shows off some select Wing Chun moves.
If I could do that when I'm 90, I think that would be amazing. Maybe Wing Chun is the pathway to that. I'm going to work as hard as possible to reach as close as I can come to that level. Okay. Ip Man appears to be the pivotal figure in the community. He obviously looks like a great benefactor of temples. People look up to him because of great philanthropic work. I was hoping that I wasn't disrespecting the master in any way. I was hoping that
Master Ye was happy to take me as a student.
Li Tao, a local villager from Fuzhou, learned Wing Chun on his own for several years. Just like Jeff, he also became a disciple of Master Ye. According to Chinese tradition, although Jeff is younger and weaker than Li Tao, he has been designated a senior disciple.
It's going to be really weird having a younger brother who is both older than me and better at Kung Fu than I am. Mr. Li gave Master Ye a red packet instead of a sentimental sort of gift like I gave him. Apparently, one can buy a discipleship.
拜师主要是一种形式，首先是学师傅那种精神，第二个是在学习这个武术，就好像叶问宗师生前所收徒要求的一样，习武先立品。
Since Jeff will be in China for only a short time, to save time, he begins basic training the same day. Living in Hong Kong, Master Ye asked his disciples to manage the Kung Fu Center in Foshan. He seldom comes here, but since Jeff doesn't have much time, he decides to teach Jeff himself.
Wing Chun consists of movements that no human should naturally be able to do. I guess with me, like having developed like a muscle and maybe even a lack of mobility as a result of it, it's going to be hard.
放松 means relax. Relax, 放松 relax. Relax, 放松.
The key word of the night was relax. People staring at me the whole time, which I guess I'll have to get used to. People kept telling me to relax when I thought I was being relaxed. In Western schools, we learn the why of everything. It's very principle-centered. You're invited to pore over the principle. In this type of instruction, it strikes me as very Chinese because you just have to try to copy what the master did.
嗱，佢今日係學得好辛苦，辛苦嗰個原因呢，因為佢過去就學一啲舉重啊，都係體力化嘅嘢，佢嘅習慣一做呢就谷住晒嘅力，而詠春呢就從冇力開始玩到有力嘅，所以佢大家互相唔適應。
Learning Kung Fu is not as easy as Jeff thought. Some of the intricate body movements make him quite anxious. Jeff is quite a confident person. Although it is very difficult to learn Chinese Kung Fu, he believes that diligence can make up for weaknesses in other areas. After a few days, Jeff begins to realize how closely related Foshan is with Kung Fu. In his spare time, he visits many important local landmarks. Just as he had imagined, there are also plenty of foreigners learning Kung Fu in Foshan as well.
Wow. I've done it looks like a gun, you know, shooting a gun. Really fierce style.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Jeff.
Jeff, Benjamin.
Benjamin. Pleasure.
所以我们现在的中国文化是外国人最喜欢来学，他们比我们的真的比我们。
我需要找到一个师傅，因为我知道，学功夫就是这样，要师傅和徒弟的关系，在法国没有，所以我的目的就是找到一个真正师傅，跟他学。
Wow.
这样，不是拉这个。
这个？
这样。就差。
That comports with what I thought Kung Fu was and what I thought I'd be learning. My initial impressions were that I wanted to study Bak Mei, and I was kind of disappointed that I was studying Yong Chun.
如果你喜欢咏春种，你就去学咏春种；如果你要认为啊，刘师傅我要学你这种功夫，这个叫白眉传。
Well, I don't know enough to choose at this point.
Jeff can't decide. His friend tells him that there's a saying in China, he who teaches you for one day is your father for life. Changing masters will not be accepted. After deep consideration, he returns to Grandmaster Ye Man Memorial Stadium. To his surprise, he meets another American there.
Oh yeah. Thank you, sir.
What is your feeling?
After watching them fighting, I realized I have a long way to go. I already knew that, but it became just more apparent.
Really don't need personal. Thanks. That's what this, it's more of a meditation, and it's going to teach you how to relax, but at the same time be firm and strong in your form.
Before heading back to Hong Kong, Master Ye has asked his disciples to help Jeff practice. During the first 2 days, Jeff makes plenty of mistakes. After training for a few days, he starts to improve. Jeff still has the idea of white eyebrow kung fu in his mind.
Bak Mei, their movements are so big and flashy that they've got to waste just so much energy. Yong Chun seems like a more sophisticated version of that kind of kung fu. I just think that Yong Chun uses angles and physics and sophisticated hit points. I mean, it all comes down to who can win in a fight, though. But I think it would at least be a really good, long fight.
我打他反手，记住他摊手。
冲，佛，正，冲，佛，正。
At the end of July 2013, there's another unprecedented kung fu ceremony in Fuzhou. And this time, Jeff has a chance to take part.
I'd like to show them some of my moves, even though I don't know too many, and I'd like to tell them how much I like it.
Practitioners from various schools of kung fu have come together to perform.
Hi. So every day since we landed in Foshan, I have been training anywhere from 8 to 12 hours a day. We finally went out for some fun last night, and it was a blast. We went to this bar. We met some great people. I got to play some drums. It was just a blast. And we shot some great pool together. I just had a great time, and it was nice to relax. I think my kung fu may have been better this morning because of it. I'm not sure.
Xian Guolin is Ye Chun's disciple and producer of the movie The Legend is Born, Ye Man. Hearing that Master Ye has a new disciple, Xian Guolin invites Jeff to visit his film studio.
我觉得每一个人到每一个阶段都应该有个目标，做这样的一个影视基地弄好，因为我想他 不应该是中国出名，应该是我想是世界的出名，因为现在已经越来越多外国人来中国学中国功夫，我觉得洪拳、太极、咏春拳都是值得我们推广的，所以我打算未来都可以这样两方面推广，是我一点小小的个人心愿。Do more practice, okay?
I will.
You will become a Wing Chun Sifu sooner or later.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Master Ye has returned. He decides to teach Jeff some new skills. Today, Master Ye asks Jeff to travel to Hong Kong in 10 days to show off what he has learned. Jeff feels anxious about such an opportunity. Upon arriving in Hong Kong, Jeff makes his way to the Yemen Wing Chun Association. A few days later, he will perform in front of his fellow brothers to show what he has learned. Jeff feels both excited and nervous about this. Mr. Chun is also a new disciple of Master Ye. Hearing that Jeff is in Hong Kong, he invites him to his home. He used to be a businessman. After retirement, he began learning from Master Ye to help promote Wing Chun around the world.
我以前也玩过别的功夫，但是学了咏春以后啊，觉得这个拳啊，对我自己的思维啊，个性的修养啊，非常有帮助。还有咏春现在有很多活动啊，因为咏春现在有几套电影出来以后啊，我们陪师傅啊去做访问啊。 也去做一些咏春的推广活动啊，所以呢，生活也很充实，还很有意义的，这一个咏春的推广点。
Master Ye's 90th birthday is rapidly approaching. Jeff comes to Master Ye's home to have a conversation with him.
Master Ye lives in a pretty modest apartment complex in a pretty modest area filled with pretty modest furniture and sparsely furnished at that. I was also really impressed because I don't believe in having a lot of material things myself, but you know, I applaud him for his living so sparsely. Going to Master Ye's apartment gave me some insight into his values and his worldview. What's important to him seems to be his memories and you know, leaving a mark in the world. I think that's a good way to be. Why just collect a whole bunch of stuff when you can collect memories and leave an impact instead?
Bye-bye.
Nervous.
Really nervous.
Yeah. Well, I shouldn't be, but I am. I'm still not sure what one gets a 90-year-old Kung Fu Grandmaster for his birthday, but I do know that he likes to smoke a pipe, so pipe tobacco it is. 你们有没有领导？领导 Yeah,
没有
tobacco, oh, 谢谢。你们有没有烟草？啊？烟头。哦。不要卖这个。谢谢你，谢谢，再见。生日快乐，师傅。我不知道哪种你喜欢，但是我玩和 我喜欢，我希望你喜欢。谢谢，生日快乐。
Jeff's performance will begin soon. Like an athlete who's about to have a race, Jeff anxiously paces about the room.
即係你話佢即係嗰個資質係未幾好咧，係好普通嘅啫。但係佢因為佢好努力，所以喺呢20日到嘅時間，佢都學到似模似樣。
比起最初好硬朗或者唔識放縮，到20日之後可以耍到咁多套拳出嚟咧，我覺得佢嘅進度都叫做可取㗎。
Okay. Thank you very much. 好啦。感謝你。
Jeff's fellow brothers seem impressed by his performance. Now he can finally relax. Today he has come to Yuman's grave to pay respect to this honored Wing Chun Grandmaster.
And I'm really excited to see the tomb, because I think it's going to be a further connection to Yong Chun. I do think it's going to be great because you get to see what the community has done for the master who's given them so much and popularized it throughout the world.
I think studying Yong Chun could be kind of relevant to my study of law, just because it's definitely been an exercise in making connections between different things that seem unconnected at the moment, and that's what making arguments is. It just seems like I'm a more open-minded person, more well-rounded maybe, as a result of all this. I think the most demanding moment of my Yong Chun training has not really been a moment, but just like a quest for realization. It's a journey, and I'm glad that I'm engaging in it because, like I said, it's been a real challenge.